What's happening, y'all? And welcome to the Systems Lab Live. Mucho apologies for the lateness, but we here. That's what matters. We are right here. We are right here. And I'm very excited tonight. We have a really good topic. We're talking about project vision. Project vision. If you were here last week, we talked about why project management is needed in entrepreneurship. Okay. And one of the things that I believe, and I truly believe this, is that project management is needed in entrepreneurship because it brings strategic alignment in your business. It helps you not to be wasteful in your time, in your tasks. It helps your team to become focused and remain focused. And it also helps you to actually have recurring customers because you have a system and a process to actually bring your clients through. Especially if you are a service provider, you're able to bring your clients through your seamless process. You know where everybody's supposed to be stationed, so to speak, right? Their duties, their tasks, their deadlines. And so project management is needed to help to grow and scale your business. Of course, you hear that saying all the time: grow and scale, grow and scale, grow and scale. But let me tell you something: everything that you are doing in your business, launching a virtual event, you have a brand new service, you are launching a podcast, or you have a podcast um, that you come out on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, whatever the cadence is. That, my friends, is a podcast, YouTubing, content creation. It is a project. And so I'm a firm believer in making sure that as a founder, as a CEO of your business, you possess in some form or fashion. It doesn't have to be like the super expert level, but that you know the elements of what it means to manage a project. But also too, to definitely have a project manager in your business. Yes, you need to be hiring these individuals, whether it is on a project to project basis or you actually have them on your team. And there is a difference. There's a difference between the PMs, the OBMs, and the virtual assistants and all of that. And all of them have their place, and it is good to have those individuals depending on your business model. But tonight, we're going to get into just a warm up topic tonight. I do want to talk a bit about Asana. And Asana has a report that they have every single year. It's called the Anatomy of Work. At least to my knowledge, I think the Anatomy of Work is only maybe like a couple of years old. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. But Asana is a project management tool, and it is a tool that you can manage all the different types of projects, just the projects that we just mentioned. I quickly just want to shout out the folks on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, we are on YouTube right now. The link is in the bio. And join me if you want to. Well, no, not if you want to. You should just come on over to YouTube. We do a lot of show and tell, and we do a lot of fun stuff over here at the Systems Lab Live. The Systems Lab Live, and I also have a new banner, y'all. Y'all need to go and check it out on my YouTube channel. I have a brand new little banner thing. Okay, so y'all know what the channel is about. But here at the Systems Lab, we talk a lot about people, process, outcomes. We talk about managing products, productivity. If you are a founder of a company, if you are a creative or tech startup, this particular channel is for you. This live show is Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. And we have various different topics that we talk about. I'm also always looking for people to suggest topics that I can talk about. I'm also going to have some live guests and everything. And so we have a lot of fun over here. We have a lot of fun over here in the YouTube land. So I want to talk just for a few short minutes because I do have to at least hop off at least at the 5 minutes till 9 hour. But Wednesday, we going in on Wednesday. So come on back on Wednesday. We're going to go in and certainly have more of a fuller lesson. I'm going to share my screen with you all because I want to share with you the Asana report. I'm going to share with you the Asana report, the Anatomy of Work Global Index. This is very interesting. Let's look at this together, shall we? Shall we? Okay. I think we see it together, shall we? Let's look. Okay, I think y'all see it. All right, so this is the Anatomy of Anatomy of Work Global Index 2022, embracing the new age of agility. Now, for context, this report is really central to how you as an individual, whether you are a team member, whether you are a founder, whether you are a director, whether you're in corporate or you're in entrepreneurship, this whole report is all about work. It's how you work, it's what you get accomplished. And I think it's really important that we understand what the premise of this is about. So on page 2, they kind of give you a summary of where we are when it comes to working, right? So what that means is that we're talking about the tasks, the projects, all of those types of things. And when it says the clash of work cultures, pre-pandemic, we were going into the office. If you were already an entrepreneur, you were working remotely, or you were going into more co-working spaces, you were traveling maybe to your clients, perhaps you were going to events and networking events. So the way in which we were working was totally different from pre-pandemic till now. So most people, like I had a coworker today tell me, you know what, Ashley, sometimes I struggle with like turning off the laptop because I'm working from home, right? So you hear a lot of individuals that are switching jobs because they become remote only. Then you have the whole aspect of the great resignation, and you have people say you need to come back into the office. So you have a lot of folks that are like, wait a minute, I didn't really, know that when I started working from home or working from an office or remotely or what have you, that I could set my own hours, that now I understand what productivity is. Now I'm spending more time with my family. So to go back into pre-pandemic culture, into how we work, is counterintuitive. It's not productive, and it's just not going to work. And so when Asana has the tagline, I'm gonna scroll back up because what did the tagline say? Embrace the new age of agility. We want to also break that down. Agility, that word, meaning it's flexible. Okay, that's what agility. That's what that word means. It's being able to. You're not. It's not rigid. It's not as structured. You're able to move around quickly. It's being nimble. So, who here is all for? We need to be more flexible in our working environments. Yes, I will raise my hand. We absolutely do. Do corporations right now, are they 110% at that level of being agile? Absolutely not. Now, have some companies like Basecamp, they've been working in a remote capacity for like years and years on end. And so they're already like ready to work. You know what I'm saying? They're already ready for this whole remote work lifestyle. So we're looking at work and life. How do we balance out the two? That's the question. Even if you are a full-time entrepreneur, I'm hearing a lot of people are like spending many hours on the computer. You know what I'm saying? Just going. They're just waking up and they're just working, right? And there is definitely a sentiment of the hustle culture, of getting after what you want, of no days off. And I think whatever your particular prescription is, whether or not that is work, whatever it is that you want to do, I think that's totally up to you. I think you just have to make sure that it's conducive to the lifestyle that you want to live. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that is something that's we all need to think about when it comes to work and life balance. What is your set core hours that you're working? Number one. Number two, in terms of how you go about your schedule and your working, how do you do it? What's your approach? Do you get lost in the details? So I want to bring that point up because 23 out of the 40 hours of the work week are lost to menial and repetitive tasks. So work about work, which is one of Asana's coined terms, work about work. And I want to, let me see if I can go right on in. Okay, here we go. So work about work, if I zoom in, is activities such as communicating about work, searching for information, switching between apps, managing shifting priorities, and chasing status updates. That is the whole notion about work about work. How many of us are doing this throughout the day? Whether you have a career job or whether you are an entrepreneur, you're working with yourself, you're working with your team. How many of us are chasing down information? We're trying to find out what we need to do next. And look at this. In 2022, 58% of the people, they are spending time on work about work, 33% on skilled work, which are labor that requires specific knowledge or expertise, and strategic work, a plan of action designed to achieve a major goal. So it says right here, skilled work is important, but if an organization isn't planning ahead, the skilled work can't lead anywhere. So what this chart tells us is this: we are spending more time, and it only went down 2% from the 60 to the 58. Okay, that we are spending the majority of our time switching between apps, trying to find out what to do next, managing all the priorities, and we're not in our zone of genius. Can you even believe that? We need to spend more time in the strategic piece. This is what I love too. A strategy, a strategic work, a plan of action designed to achieve a major goal. We not listen. This is what the numbers are saying. This is what the numbers are saying. So what do we do about that? We're going to have to pick that up on Wednesday. But I need us to really start thinking about what are we doing when it comes to this work about work? And this is why I'm so supremely passionate about designing a work experience. And what does that exactly mean, Ashley? I'm so glad that you asked. Designing a work experience means that you have a cadence, a rhythm, a process, a system for how you go about accomplishing your day-to-day work. And having a process in place too for how you go about executing projects. Now, projects, yes, they more than likely 90% of the time may have like a single deliverable or a couple of deliverables. Yeah, you need your own project management process for that as well. Boom. But then when it comes to the actual work, which is the tasks, you need a way to understand what you need to prioritize. That's where the strategic alignment comes in place. The time management piece, where you're storing your work, how you're communicating with your team so that you can spend less time doing the work about work. All right? Cool. This was good. But we're going to pick it up on Wednesday because we're going to get into some of the solutions that Asana has laid out. And I can't wait to get into that with you. Now, when we're talking about project vision, we're going to get into a project vision. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. This is some good stuff. Project vision, and I want to make sure that we understand what that means. So, this particular concept came about through, I think the project management Mount Rushmore people. This is what I'm assuming. The project management Mount Rushmore people. But project visioning, and let's take it back for an example that will be helpful. Many of us have some really great ideas. Yes? How many of us, and you can put in the chat, how many ideas you all have right now? Ideas for your business. What kind of ideas do you have? Tell me. I'd love to know. I'd love to know. All right, we're going to look inside the comments because I'd love to see that. So you have some projects that you all are working on, some really big ones. You got a community group. I love that. A virtual event that you're looking at. That's really good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So many of us get really excited about the ideas that we have, right? I get excited. Ooh, I got this idea. Man, like what's next? Like, what do I need to do next? We got to do it now. We got to do this thing now, right? Who's with me on that? Who's with me on that? Because I know. I know it. I know it. So, how do you keep focused? How do you keep motivated when you have this brilliant idea? That's the question. How do you keep motivated when you have this brilliant idea? I'm going to hold on. We're going to pause just 1 second. All right, y'all. Check 1, check 2. All right, I'm back in the building. I was trying to tell a story, y'all. Y'all with me though? Okay. Cool. So, you have an idea, right? It's like you're just busting out the seams. I guess that's the right word for it. But you're super excited. And you're like, man, I got this idea. I'm ready to go. And sometimes what happens is we start going, and then it's a halt. It's okay, and we stop. And sometimes we get not motivated. Okay, who's with me? Okay. Sometimes we're just not motivated. But I believe, and this is what's worked well for me in the past, has worked with my team members. You have to really develop project vision. Okay. Project vision is what's going to help anchor you in your strategy, your approach, and your execution of your project. So, what does that mean, visioning? That means that you are literally filling out a document. Maybe it's something that you're doing. Maybe you're doing some whiteboarding. Okay. I love a good whiteboarding session. All right. It's my thing. I love a good whiteboarding session. But what you're looking to do is you're looking to write down the purpose of the project. How many of us have just gone and did something and then we were just like, voila? And someone might say, well, what's the purpose of it? And you sit back and you say to yourself, self, mm, mm, mm. That's a good question. Why are we doing this? So we have to take a step back, remove the excitement of it for a minute, or just at least just push it down just a little bit, and really just get outside of the excitement of the idea, and transition into strategy and visioning, and say to myself, okay, if I have this idea, I'm going to create this app. I'm going to launch this service, this product, whatever it is. Why am I doing it? Who is it for? What are the outcomes? What are some of the KPIs, the key performance indicators? How will I measure success? Who will I need? How much money will I have? In the PM world, and it depends on where you work. You might have something called a charter, a charter, and so so I want to blend the two together, because again, we have different company cultures, and you know um as I always tell people, when you are applying project management principles, you can literally take these principles and make them your own. So when we're talking about visioning, we're talking about creating and crafting the story around your project and what you're looking to accomplish. So when we are also referencing budget and resources, you got to go to my Instagram, because I have a shout out, a tribute to the OJs for the love of money, because we often underscore budget planning and resource allocation. What does that mean, Ashley? Budget planning. It's not just how much will I need, but it's what will I need and how much does that cost? So, how are we doing budget forecasting of what we need? So, if you are going to create a course or a membership community, you need to be thinking about a few things: the hosting platform, the landing page. You also need to be thinking about email marketing, other software and tech that's involved. Now, you may already have some of this, but maybe if you're newer to the space and maybe you don't have all of those pieces, you're going to need to make a list. Oh, the who do we need? Oh. Who? Who? Who do I need? We got to ask ourselves that question. Who do I need? Graphic designer, a course director, maybe a course curriculum strategist, maybe a photographer. Maybe you're going to have an associated podcast with your course. How much? How much do you have? Do you do everything at once? Because when we start thinking about and we dissect this idea that we have, we really have to start crystallizing and really start formulating what does all of this mean? So for instance, podcasting. Let's go back to podcasting. So I started my podcast November 2020. November 2020. Yes. Yes, November 2020. So with that said though, I went and started putting together the vision for it. I was like, okay, conversations with Ask Ash. What's the podcast about? Who is it for? And I immediately went into, all right, so how much does this cost to do this, to launch this? All right. People have something called, a website for it. Boom. All right. How much is that? Then we get into recording. What do you record with? Boom. All right. Editing. I know that time, I'm not going to be able to do all the great editing and things that the podcast editor does. He does a fantastic job. Okay. So I know I needed to outsource that. And that needs to be a part of the budget. Domain name. You start thinking about all these different things. Now, there's also something called, you have to decide too, audio, video, or both. And for me, I was like, oh no, if I'm ready for the video live, for that video podcast live. You know what I'm saying? So you start having to weigh the pros and cons of that, right? You start weighing the software that it takes to record. How much? How much does it take to produce it? And that gives you a really good idea as to not only the money investment, but also the time investment. I know that audio is something that is of extreme importance to me. So therefore, I'm for sure gonna phone a friend, find someone and say, hey, need someone who can do supreme editing quality so that it sounds good. I'm all about the sound. I'm all about making sure that things sound correctly and they sound good. Okay? So project visioning is you sitting down after the excitement, after we have texted our closest peeps, and we say, I got this idea. Bop, 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 bop. I'm ready to rock and roll. Before that, project visioning. Whiteboard it out. If you got a core group that you can always do a phone a friend situation, do a screen share and say, I need to tease this idea out. And I need you to ask me some questions. I'm going to present some things to you and ask some questions. That's good because you get another person's perspective. Another person's perspective. Someone might ask, well, Ashley, how long does this project visioning take place? It all depends on the scope and the complexity of the project itself. It sure does. It all depends. Well, where does this go? How do I store it? Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be too complicated. It could be Google Docs. You guys have seen me use 2 flowcharting softwares, Miro.com and Whimsical. So that's always a choice to be able to visualize the process. And then you can definitely share a Loom video, get together with friends via Zoom and say, hey, I got this project. Here's what I'm doing. I need your insight into what's missing so I can be able to accomplish this. Questions. This is just an overview of project visioning. If you are looking for us to connect offline, text live to 626-722-5444. That's where we do the challenge of the week. And today's challenge of the week is to think of a current project that you're working on. And I want you to answer 3 questions. What's the purpose? What are the outcomes? And what are the KPIs? What are the key performance indicators? Okay. And then we're going to build on top of that for our next live show. All right. That's it. That's all that I have for you guys today. If you are interested in a ClickUp VIP day where we talk more on project management, workflows and execution and organizing the work that you do on a day-to-day basis, go ahead and text VIP to 626-722-5444. We can learn more information about the ClickUp VIP day. It is awesome, and it is certainly something that I always enjoy helping my fellow clients out with is being able to streamline their process. So thank y'all so much for this live stream. And again, we'll be back on Wednesday. We're diving into more project vision, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. All right, we'll talk soon. Be sure to share this broadcast with 3 people, and we'll talk soon. Bye.